Hello everybody. This is sort of an impromptu thing. I had this in mind to do earlier, and I thought maybe they won't be interested, and I thought no, well, you know, I don't have any new wigs really, so and I keep looking at these wigs on my shelf, and I thought, you know, maybe somebody gets something out of it, so I decided to do it. This piece right here, now excuse my shirt, I'm wearing this shirt because at least, you know, I don't want to see the writing on it, but it's chocolate brown, and I thought this would be a really good color to showcase these blondes. Just like the title says, it's 3 brands and 3 blondes. And 2 of the blondes are quite similar to each other in certain ways. They're different in that one's rooted and one's non-rooted, and yet they have a lot of the same tones. And I found that interesting, because it never occurred to me that they really would have the same tones. This piece right here is the Tressolure Charlie, and this color is Frosty Blonde HL. This is a color that has some ash blonde, some gold blonde. It's a very pretty, I guess you'd call it a medium blonde, and it is non-rooted. As you can see, there's a little root shadow under this overhang, but it's a non-rooted blonde. Hard to find any of those in a nice color these days, isn't it? And I'm going to throw a picture up on the screen. The 3 blondes are Tressolure Charlie and Frosty Blonde HL, Belle Tress Caliente in Butterbeer Blonde, and the Ellen Villa Onda in Bahama Beige Shaded. Obviously, Butterbeer Blonde and Bahama Beige Shaded are rooted colors, and Frosty Blonde HL is not. And as you can see the similarities and the differences in these pieces. Now, I know that this is not a wavy style, but I think for this purpose, I think you can really tell what I'm trying to say. Let me grab something here. Here's my Caliente in Butterbeer Blonde. A recent repurchase, obviously rooted. I noticed something when these two, the Frosty Blonde HL for Tressolure and the Butterbeer Blonde from Belle Tress, were side by side on the shelf. I noticed that they have a lot of the same tones. This has some ash blonde, some light sandy blonde or dark ash blonde. It has some platinum. It's very highlighted with platinum, and it has a medium brown root, which is on this one is fairly neutral. Thank goodness. You know, warm roots are not my thing. Roots in general are not my thing, but it's very hard to find non-rooted blondes like this. But I noticed a lot of the same tones in the Frosty Blonde, and this especially. And I thought, you know, it's one thing to have an assessment of a color, but unless you see it with other colors, I think sometimes it's still hard to get a handle on it. You can describe it with words, you can describe it with shades, but until you see things side by side, it's a little difficult. Now, the Onda fibers are not heat friendly. They're regular synthetic, as are these. The Onda fibers might have a little bit more sheen to it than the Tressolure. I've always loved Tressolure fibers. They've always been a wonderful fiber, and they used to wear very well. Like I said previously, Charlie is a resurgence of the discontinued Chloe wig, I do believe. The lace front is extended. However, they have the same features, same cap features, and the same basic measurements, the same style, everything. So let me turn around so you can see the similarities and the tones between Frosty Blonde HL and Butterbeer Blonde. Obviously, this is going to be a little ashier because it has the ash platinum. It's going to come off a little lighter, but hopefully you can see a lot of the same tones in here that you see in Frosty Blonde. So let me turn around and let me see if we can get a good assessment of this, okay? I hope that you can see what I'm talking about. And in the pictures, I'll put up more pictures obviously, and you'll be able to see there's a lot of similarity in a lot of the tones. If you liked Butterbeer Blonde, now obviously they're going to be still going to be a little difference just because the heat-friendly fibers take color differently than regular synthetic fibers. But there's going to be a little difference because of the lighter ash platinum in this color. But a lot of these sandy colors and the dark ash blonde in here in the Frosty Blonde. Let me push this forward over my eyes so I can't see and you can. You can see the tones in here. You can see these tones. And the same tones are in Butterbeer Blonde. Let me see if I can get this up here where you can see this. Can you see these? You can see a lot of the same tones, even aside from the root now, are in Butterbeer. So if maybe you don't like the rooting of Butterbeer Blonde, or maybe it's a little bit too ashy for you, maybe you want something with a little bit more warmth, you might want to check out the Frosty Blonde HL. Sorry, curse of my life, battery runs dead. This camera does not have a great battery life. I should always carry my separate battery out here with me every time. As I was saying, if you have problems with Butterbeer Blonde, if you're always fighting with the root is always a little too warm for you, if you don't like a root, if maybe the ash in it is too ashy and you want something with a little more warmth, but if you're fighting with Butterbeer Blonde in any way, you might want to figure out if there is a style in a Tressolure that you could get Frosty Blonde HL on. Now they have some new Tressolure styles that are in heat-friendly fibers. They don't come in this color. This is what I call one of the old Tressolure colors, one of the mainstay Tressolure colors of their regular synthetic wigs. But this has such beautiful tones in this color. You can see the tones in here, and I think it might be something worth considering if you're not familiar with Tressolure wigs. I know Belle Tress is really popular now. It's popular with me, but you know, it has its limitations for a lot of reasons. And you know, I'm just basically going to rooted styles because I can't find a lot that's not rooted that is in the right color or the right style for me. So Charlie, yes, Charlie right here, this particular style is an expensive style. But if you find you like one of their expensive styles, all you do is take your time, cruise eBay every day, or look for somebody, look for it to pop up, put in a search and save your search on eBay, look in clearance sections, and eventually you'll probably find one that pops up and you can get it for a really good discounted price. So anyway, yeah. Frosty Blonde HL is kind of like Butterbeer Blonde without the root and the ash platinum. Kind of like it. Yeah, it really is. And it surprised me when I saw it up on the shelf together. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you, and hope it was helpful in some way. I almost didn't do this, but I thought maybe, just maybe, a comparison might help somebody a little bit. So what have you got to lose? Right? Have a great day, ladies. Bye.